Hey, Hamid here. In this video, we're going to learn how to create dynamic sections in Klaviyo specifically, but why dynamic sections are so important in our email flows. Because in email flows like abandoned cart flows, we can personalize our emails so we get much more engagement rate and more click rate for our emails by adding these personalized sections, which is called dynamic sections. What I actually mean is that we have an email design and there's a section underneath the hero section which is filled out dynamically, and it is based on the customer's behavior. For example, in abandoned cart flow, depending on what kind of product that the customer has in their cart in our website, we will fill out this section, which includes the product image, product title name, and the pricing. But if you don't know me, my name is Hamid. My email designs are getting more than 100,000 views per month on Pinterest. And if you need help with email marketing, you can visit my website, bigbangflow.com, and get a free email marketing audit. So for this tutorial, we have these two email designs that we are going to slice out and export into the Klaviyo and create the dynamic section for each one. The first one is actually an abandoned cart flow and the other one is a post-purchase flow. So dynamic sections can be used for post-purchase flows, for browse abandonment flows, for even welcome flows, depending on what you are trying to show. But the main ones are actually these three email flows. As I said, abandoned cart flow, browse abandonment flow, and post-purchase flow. So first of all, let's slice out this first design, which is an abandoned cart flow. I'm gonna slice out the hero section and then the other part of the email design. But I'm not gonna include this dynamic section here into the exportable parts. And then I'm gonna choose both slices and hit export. And I'm gonna export in desktop. Now I'm gonna go to my Klaviyo account and I'm gonna go to flows. And we're going to create a new abandoned cart flow. I'm going to search for cart. It says abandoned cart reminder standard. And I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to change the name to test abandoned cart and hit use template. So our abandoned cart flow is created. I'm going to go to the first email design here. I'm going to click on this email. By the way, I have already explained how to create an abandoned cart flow from scratch. You can watch this video in my channel. I have explained everything about abandoned cart flow, but here we are only going to focus and talk about the dynamic sections. Once you click on this email here, you can click on edit. So as you can see, Klaviyo creates this dynamic section by itself. But first of all, let's remove all of these extra parts that we don't need because we're going to use our own email design here. So I'm going to delete all of these sections and I'm going to bring in a new image slice, actually an image editor, and I'm going to upload the first slice, which is the hero section. Now I'm going to duplicate this image and take the other part at the bottom of the dynamic section and I'm going to upload the second part. So we can use the Klaviyo default template for dynamic section. But if you want to do it from scratch, I'm going to bring in a table. I'm going to drag and drop it underneath the hero section. And then instead of this static text and also the static image, we'll need a dynamic image and dynamic text. The text part is going to include the price, the product title. So we're going to use these variables. I will attach all of this in this video description so you can copy and paste it there. We're going to start with the product title. I'm gonna copy that variable and paste it here by clicking Ctrl V, and I'm gonna copy the product price. And then we will need to update the image and text with a dynamic text and image instead of the static text and image. So for the text part, we will need the product title and the product price. So we're going to use these variables. I'm gonna copy this, which is the product title, and I'm gonna paste it here. And I'm going to write name for product title. This part is static and this part is dynamic. And I'm going to increase the text size and I'm going to hit enter and we will need to add the product price underneath. So we're going to say price and we'll paste the variable of product price. And also we'll need 21 pixel for font size. So if I click here under preview and test, you'll see that the image is filled out depending on the action of this specific profile. And then if I click on the right arrow, it will switch the user. But as you can see, the name and price are not showing up the same as Klaviyo default section, which was the one underneath the one we created. The reason is for the kind of e-com stores that have variety of product for each product page, the kind of integration that happens between Klaviyo and Shopify, it has an output which is array instead of static product page. So what we're going to do, we will need to name the specific array number. In this case, if you click on product name, it will automatically copy the array number. So in the email editor, if I click on the section again, and if I paste the variable I just copied here, and let me make a few adjustments here. Again, if I click on preview and test, you can see that the product name is now showing here. And to correct the pricing, if I scroll down, here it says price. If I click on here, you can see that the variable of product price is copied, and I can update it right here. And I'm going to paste it here, paste the text only. And again, if I go to preview and test, you can see that the product price is also showing up. So any kind of variable that you want to include in your email design, you can find them all in here. For example, it might be the customer's address, customer's city, I don't know, like product category, anything you want, you can find it here. And if you click on any of these, the corresponding variable will be copied and you can paste it here. So I'm going to delete this Klaviyo defaults dynamic section, and you can see that the background color of our dynamic section is different from our email design. So what we're going to do is we will need to find the background color of our email design, which is this one. And we're going to come back Klaviyo, and we're going to click the whole table, and we will need to go to style and click on background color. And here we're going to paste the color of the email design. Sorry, not background color. We should go to block background color, and we're going to paste it here. As you can see, the background color is now updated. And if I go to the preview again, you can see it has the same background of our email design. Also, we can do a few adjustments here. We can align the text vertically. So I'm gonna choose the whole section, and I'm gonna go to style, and I'm gonna click on align center. So if I go here again, you can see the text is aligned to the center. You can also increase the text size. I'm gonna select all of the text, and for example, we can say 30 pixels. You can see it looks much better. Now let's go and create the post-purchase flow with the dynamic section. So I'm going to go to Klaviyo flows. So the only thing that is remaining is actually the product URL. So we can use this variable, and I'm going to click on the table, and I'm going to select image, and under link address, we will paste this variable. So anyone who clicks on this email, they will be redirected to their abandoned cart. We can also add the same link for other parts of the email, including the hero section. Great, now I'm going to click on exit, and we're going to go for the post-purchase flow. I'm going to go to Klaviyo flows and create a flow, and we're going to search for post. It says post-purchase follow-up. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to say test post-purchase, and click on use template. I've already created this video. I explained how to create a post-purchase flow, but here we just want to see how we can include the dynamic parts into the post-purchase flow. So there are a lot of emails here. We don't want any of these. I just want to use this email, and I'm going to delete the rest. I'm going to say both paths, and I'm going to slice out this post-purchase flow, which is a review request. Select the hero section, and also going to select the rest, and I'm going to choose both, and I'm going to export them into desktop. Now we're going to go back to Klaviyo. I'm going to click edit. I'm going to delete everything here except the dynamic section. So I'm going to add an image here, and I'm going to upload the first slice. So the whole point of this post-purchase flow is actually asking the customers to leave a review for the product they purchased, and also maybe attaching some photos that shows how they're using the product in the product page. So I'm going to duplicate this first image slice, and I'm going to upload the other part. Now we're going to add another table. As you can see, Klaviyo already added this default template, but we're going to create it by our own, and we can see what we can add an extra or maybe removing anything from it. So I'm going to click on this dynamic section, and here again we're gonna use the product title, and I'm gonna scroll down and click on this product name, and we're gonna paste it right here. So here we don't want to include the pricing. It doesn't make sense to include the pricing because this email is only going to send to people who have already purchased the product. So adding the price doesn't make sense. I'm going to go to styles and I'm going to align the center, this text, and I'll also add the title here. And for image, again, we're going to use this variable here, go to dynamic image and paste it right here. And also for the background, again, I'm going to copy the background color and scroll down to black background and paste the color here. And I'm going to remove this other one. Also, we'll need to add link to the product page. So we're going to use this variable for URL, and we're going to add an extra text here, which is a link to the product page. Also, we can say, for example, we can say leave feedback, and I'm gonna click on link, and we can now paste the variable right here. And as you can see, it has already changed the color. So once we click on preview, the customers will see all the product they have purchased, and by clicking here, they will be redirected to the product page and they can leave feedback right there. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel on YouTube. I share a lot of video about email marketing specifically. See you on the next video.